I was serving overseas in the military overseas in Yokosuka, Japan from 2012 to 2014. Since my time there I was settled and been there for 2 years, and seeing a very lovely girl named May had told me she was pregnant with my child while on my deployment. I took responsibility for my actions, so we started to plan. During the second year of my service during the winter 6 months since May gave me the news. My ship had been in dry dock for a year, and each ship, depending on how big the ship is, had a handful of duty sections, a group of crew members who watched the ship and took care of it while the rest of the crew was off. So it was my section's turn to watch the ship. During our evening meal, one of my shipmates asked me if I could switch watches with him, being that my current watch was standing in the freezing cold for 5 hours. He thought giving me his barracks watch would lift my spirits up. It did. I took the purposal in a heartbeat. We both let our section leader know of the change. At 23:45 I was on my to the barracks to watch the barracks from 2400-0600. The barracks watch was there for safety and to see that the right people were in their respective rooms. I arrive right on time with 5 minutes to spare. I bought myself and a person I was reliving a coffee, thought it helped them on the cold walk home. As the night progressed I made my rounds every half hour, and when the wee hours of the morning came around I started to doze off. I was awoken by a resident who couldn't sleep due to their neighbors crying. "If you can get that girl back in her room and keep her quiet, I won't tell the supervisor that you weren't sleeping," he muttered. As if I didn't have a choice. The barracks was 3 floors high, full of people, but at this hour the silence had a certain eeriness to it. Like you could hear your own heart beat. My footsteps echoed like if I was in some sort of catacomb. As I made my way upstairs, I began to hear sobbing. I shook my head in disappointment. This should be fun, I said to myself. I reached the 3rd floor and I made my way down the hallway. The sobbing sounded like it was coming from the laundry room. Maybe the poor girl didn't want to wake her roommates, I thought to myself. As I made my way into the laundry room, the sobbing was low, like she tried to hide it. I stepped forward. "Miss? Are you okay?" I whispered. I turned the light on. I saw a young girl sitting on the floor facing the wall, leaning on the washer machine. I ask again, "Miss, are you all right?" I put some strain on it so she may hear me past the sobbing. I still waited for a response but still got nothing. It was late. I was tired and getting impatient. I got closer to her. "Hey lady, are you all right? I think you should call it a night," I yelled as I walked closer. Just I did. The girl sprung up quickly. She looked sick, dark eyes, greasy hair. She didn't look happy, like I ruined her crying game. Before I could open my mouth she let out a ear-shattering scream, and it just kept climbing in pitch. I get closer to shut her up, but the noise was too much. I collapsed, and the last thing I was the sickly girl with her menacing face staring straight at me. All of a sudden I woke up in the office where I watched the cameras. I would wrote it off as a bad dream from eating takeout, but I felt different. I felt cold. I didn't sleep for the rest of my watch. A week later, I got news from May. She told me that there were complications with the baby. She had a miscarriage. I couldn't help that the young girl in my night terror and the miscarriage could be linked. I'm back stateside now, and the experience has left a major impression on me. Gigs. Peas. I have a knack for running into these strange events. I have other stories, so please let me know. Gigs. This content was provided by